Yes, oh yes, legends. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. It is Monday today. What's going on with the price of Bitcoin? We'll be analyzing that today, guys. Make sure to destroy that like button on your way in. How is everybody doing? Hope you're doing great, guys. Let's discuss a few scenarios here for the price of Bitcoin, of course. In today's live stream, we are going to be talking about many scenarios. I've got some stuff ready here for you guys. Got some stuff ready, and I hope you're excited. Let me just double check that everything's connected, everything's good, microphone's on. And we can go through the comment section and say hello to the beautiful community. S&P 500 here ready. Almost filling up that gap from last week. We are going to be discussing mainly Bitcoin, guys. How are you feeling? Are you feeling bearish, bullish? Get your votes in, guys. And I'll say hello to the beautiful community right away. What comes first, guys? Let me know here. What comes first for Bitcoin? Let's go. Smash up the like button, legends, because it's been a pretty damn good week. Bitcoin, at least for me, I expect it has been for you as well. It's been a pretty awesome week. Really nice movements, really predictable movements that we've had. I mean, just last week on Friday, we were talking about this pump coming to this 4-hourly order block, potentially forming a complex WXY structure where we had a flat, a zigzag to the downside, and another flat scenario right over here. And this was an epic short, guys. It was literally an epic short. If we would have swing failure pattern from those local highs, which we did, I mean, come on, legends. You know, I can't baby feed you. I hope that some of you guys did take this short at 90,500. You know, it did pump to 91k, but we were very much expecting that potential fake out to the upside. Coming down, guys. This was the trade. You can see the risk to reward here. Very, very nice indeed. Literally coming down to the low 86k levels. So super nice trade on Friday. That was given. Remaining patient. We were actually favoring that pump to 90,500, right? I was a little bit in favor of that scenario happening, to be honest. And then we come down to our major level that we've been talking about throughout the entire week of, you know, last week we were talking about this level for, you know, basically a few days. I would say since Monday, we were talking about this this valley area low. I think, you know, anybody is aware about this. I think there's a lot of people that talk about this. Not that we are special here. It's just the valley area low sweeping up some liquidity at these lows right over here. So for the moment, the price is getting a bounce. It is above the point of control, which you know, I do think that we're likely going to get a larger bounce, a larger range till we break down, in my opinion. I think we're not going to break down to $80,000 either today or tomorrow. I think we're going to be very bouncy, rangy. And we'll explain that, of course, in today's video update. But regardless, you know, we were very much aware of, you know, looking for that fifth wave as well coming down here. This was on yesterday's video update that didn't get any much love at all, guys. I can feel it, but we are traders. We are here to short. We are here to long. You know, it has nothing to do with crypto buying and holding diamond hands and getting wrecked. It's about trading the levels and the sentiment. Holy smokes, 3.5k views on my video update. This is ridiculous. You know, like if I was you know, an altcoin shiller kind of views. But anyway, what can we do about it? It is what it is. So we got the bounce at the low 86k levels. Nice little bounce, 2,000 plus. Very acceptable for an entry trade. I forwarded that yesterday in the community, of course, as well, to let the people know that, you know, I am executing this trade. Woke up in the middle of the night, just perfect to get into that trade. let's go right away through the comment section. And you know, we got some stuff today. You know, we got some nice stuff to talk about today. There's some hidden trades. There's some hidden trading setups. You know, if you did take that short position on Friday, you know, this is to get out. It's a day trade, little swing trade. Obviously, coming into the weekend, it was slow, but this is the lows are your target, right? I think you should be relatively, you know, out of this position, because I think we could form a larger range and a larger bounce throughout the next coming days. I really do believe so, based on what we have with the information that we have of this downtrend. This is the downtrend that we are going to spend over an hour on today's stream to analyze every single movement. What are the levels? And, you know, understanding, of course, Elliott wave theory and the entire structure that we formed since November to come to the conclusion, you know, what's the highest probability? Okay. So let's say hello to the legends. All right. Much love to everybody. Okay. It's been a pretty awesome week, at least for me anyway. I hope it has been for you as well. Been very, very patient. There's been some streams that you know, sometimes you just need to sit on your hand. This was the favorite scenario from Friday. And of course, on the weekend, very much expecting the price to move lower. I was not expecting a higher low here from this point, because there's nothing bullish about this movement. There's just nothing bullish about this. Yeah, we talked about a leading diagonal that could develop, but I'm just not interested in any longs or doing anything here. Longs were at the low 86k level, based on the reaction, which was beautiful. Valley area low, you know, there it is. It's just, right, this is the meat and potatoes that we share every day. So there are some trades as well that I want to talk about today. They're not particularly where we are at the moment, even though it looks like a poor bounce. It's going to roll over. I get it, guys. I'm with you, right? I'm going to read the comment section right away. But I'm with you here with, you know, it's a poor bounce. It's going to roll over, right? 80k tonight. I don't think that's going to be the case. For that to happen, I see it being low probability. Okay, and I will explain it why, you know, regardless if it happens or not. We're not here to say it's imminent, it's going to happen. There's some dude, you might know who he is, because he's getting some pretty epic views. He hasn't been too bad, but you know, he was talking about an imminent pump for Bitcoin a few days ago, and you know, it's very not favoring that scenario, as you do know. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful legends here. Kashmiri, smash that like button like there's no tomorrow, guys. This is unacceptable. Smash that like button. 63 likes, 300 people. That's pretty okay. All right. I think, you know, I know we can get to 100 likes without a doubt. That will hype me up. It'll make me more organized and go straight into the content, into the technical analysis and the possible setups that we're looking for. But yeah, I'm not here to fuck around, guys. I need a little bit of love. All right. Anyway, let's go through comment section. Daniel Singleton, my man, much love. Thanks for joining the stream. Pump. Getting a little pump from 86k. Sweet. I'm on the winning side today. Absolutely legend. 98k, baby. Let's get it. I think it's unlikely that we do get to 98k, unfortunately, with this bounce in the next coming days. It's just an unlikely scenario. We'll talk about the waves, the resistance that we have above us, and what we're looking at basically to be developed. Smash the like, people. Daniel, much love to you. Andy 86.3 SFP worked for me. Absolute legend. Kashmiri, good job. Happy Australia Day. Let's go. Crypto Cowboy Oz, how are you doing, my man? Thanks for joining. Original Crypto Cowboy watching live. Much love to you, my man. Hello, Andy. Hello, everyone. Much love. Cyfrux. Eduardo. Hello. I'm always right and never wrong. I have said it for the last 2 weeks. 73k incoming. So, Andy, are you hiring? Yeah, well, we look for intraday setups, right? It's very easy to say Bitcoin will go to all-time high, right? I'm telling you here. You did hear it first here. Bitcoin will reach all-time high. It will break above 126k. Again, I'm telling you, it's almost written on stone, right? But then the other thing is, look for the internal movements, the internal setups. Where could we reject? Nice little trade. Where could we bounce? Nice little trade, right? We need following the waves to get to 126 or to get to 73k. That is different, right? So that's what we try to do here, which is very, very complex. And of course, you need to be good in the game to see the probabilities and manage risk. Of course, as always, Nico Sopi, how are you doing, my man? Great trades last week. This week so far so good. Nico Sopi, much love to you, my man. Absolutely awesome. Nico is absolutely crushing it, learning a lot, finding the edge. Absolute legend. He's in the community as well, in the trading community. We got a special thing today, guys, which I need to talk about. We're doing a giveaway of a full course that we have, myself and Devilt. And yeah, it's time to give away to the people. Of course, people want free stuff. It is bear market. Some people are not very much into trading. They need to learn. And we decided to let's give someone the course completely for free and a month access in the trading community for free. And it's super simple steps to follow. Just send me a DM with the word win, okay? And I'll share you the instructions for a full trading course and 1 month for free in the trading community. The announcement will be made on the 2nd of February, which is the Monday, next Monday, okay? I guess there'll be about 50 people, maybe 100 people. So you'd have a very, very good chance in winning that full course and that 3 month access, guys. So we are throwing the house out of the window. It is time to give back to the community. Send me a DM here with the word win, guys. Just word win to share the instructions with you to get full course, trading course for free and a month access. The announcement will be made on Monday, okay? The 2nd of February. Go, Andy, go, bring us the volatility. Danielle, yeah, we got the 25 minutes for New York Open, so we'll be discussing that. Show Brusky some love. Thank you very much, my man. Yeah, I think likes have been going pretty okay. We got above the 100, I'm sure. That. 122, let's go, let's go. Win-win. Yeah, send me the DM, not here in the comment section. Giveaway. Yeah, it is a giveaway, so it's to participate in that giveaway. Send me in the not in the comment section, legends, in the Telegram, okay? You got the first link. Telegram is open. Just send me the message win, and announcement will be made on Monday, I think, on the live stream, okay? We'll get the Telegram and everything. Obviously, we'll send the message on Telegram, but it's not in the comment section here, legends, okay? It's in the Telegram. Anyway, Andy's back. Bull run coming. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling that bullish, guys, okay? Jersey, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling very bullish. Yeah, I mean, short-term bounce. That's all good. That's all nice. But I'm not feeling it. This does not look like anything bullish. Anything, nada. There's nothing bullish about this move. I'm sorry. We had a few little scenarios when we were trading in the zone, but yeah, since we took this low, holy smokes, I think the bounce is going to be crap. The range is going to be extremely corrective, and I think we're looking at more downside to come, guys. This does look complete, I have to say. It's only short term, only for the next few weeks, maybe a few months, okay? We are in a bear market, but it's not looking great. This movement here is, holy smokes, it's just not looking good. It's very, very corrective. I've tried to combine here any bullish scenarios, and when I do so, they look horrendous. They look very bad, very bad. So there's not much hope here, guys. I have to say, not much hope for the bullish scenario. We're gonna fix some things here, all right, on the higher time frame. Bear with me. We are mainly more interested. Andy, may I borrow your book? Of course you can, my man. Let's go, legend. Andy, can we go into local TA? Yes, sir, we will. Enough talking, and that's it. Just getting some people in, smashing up the like button. Can I sell it now? I'm not liking this zone. So many bulls trapped in the high 90s. Path Maria Vallejos, you're damn right. 96 coming next week. Interesting. We got some people. We're winning. Bear flag, my friends. Yeah, literally just New York pumpy in pre-market. All right, let's go through the local scenarios. Not much to talk on the higher time frame, guys. The most important move is this one right over here. Anyway, congratulations whoever followed a little bit of the analysis where we had the highest probability setups, which was we talked about a long position here. I got stopped out from the rest of the position, re-entered another long. And, you know, throughout last week, I mean, it was mainly Wednesday long position here. Yeah, I can't. Well, we were looking at that fifth wave and an SFP, I think. I think there was a weekly level or something like that. I can't remember right now. I've got those levels off the chart. But we look for the long here and look for the short here, which was from Friday on the rejection, right? And yesterday's video update giving that, you know, potential entry, right? It's an entry. You can be safe on this position. You can be defensive. But that was the entry here. So it's been nice detecting these movements, okay, for now throughout last week. I'm very, very happy with the internal movements here. So what comes next, right? What comes next? I have to say, there is, I am not buying the scenario that we are going to drop down successfully as of not yet, even though it is possible eventually it is possible. I am bearish, okay, on the higher time frame. I do see the potential of coming down to 80k. That doesn't mean go short at any level, right? This was a good entry for a short. Could take some profits on the move down. Could leave some significant, you know, of that position open. You know, let's just break it down here, because what, you know, is it possible for the price to just, this bounce looks very exhausting. Is it possible to roll over and literally break down very aggressively in between today and tomorrow, right? Let's just say Tuesday, Wednesday. Is it, you know, is it possible that we roll over here and that we break down very aggressively from that value area low, right? We ain't here to say, you know, this is going to happen. We just look at these scenarios and where we have the best trades, literally, right? For an entry, be defensive. You know, I seriously don't know what the price is going to do, but we can have an idea of what is more likely to happen and what's less likely to happen. So we are at the value area low of this entire trading zone, right? Which we are bouncing at that value area low after sweeping up that liquidity from those higher lows, right? Which was very much a scenario that we were talking about in the last few days. So far, just a bounce of over $2,000. It's a good day trade. It could end up in a little swing trade. It could bounce a few more $1,000 in the next coming days. You know, the thing is your entry, right? Your entry is important. That's where, you know, you've got a good entry, good risk management, good position, and that's what matters, right? Getting it into the exact SFP lows, 86.3k area, right, to execute that trade. Now, is it highly likely that today, Monday, we roll over into Tuesday and we break down, like there's just like waterfall from here? I have to say, based on the movement down that we got, it's unlikely to happen. It's a low probability scenario, and there needs to be a reason, right? Why? I love some of the guys. I go through all crypto YouTube guys, and I have a great giggle. I have a great laugh, because it's insane how many experts there are right now on YouTube trading. It's pretty fascinating to see some of the comments. Anyway, we ain't going to give any names, but just very, very interesting to see the ideas of what people have and how they're looking for the trading setups, which is very entertaining. Let's leave it that way. So let's dive in here with, why do I think it would be low probability that the price would roll over here successfully in between today and tomorrow, right? Give or take Wednesday, and break down very aggressively. It all has to do with the movement down that we had since 98K, right? From last Wednesday. The move, we've got a wave down, we've got a movement to the downside, and we can fit in a 5-wave structure already. The biggest move happened in the middle, so you can fit here nicely either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Naturally, after a 5-waver, the biggest move has been in the middle. Can we develop an expanding 5th wave? Which this is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4, and this is only your wave 1 of your 5th wave. 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And it ends up being an expanding 5th wave to the downside. And we're just developing wave 1 or wave 5. I mean, yeah, I mean, it could happen. There is a chance that this could happen. An impulse move down with an expanding 5th wave is your second option if your 3rd wave is not the longest. But it's not common. The most common is just your regular 5-wave move down with the 3rd wave being the longest in the middle. That's the regular, most common impulsive move that you would have, with the second option being the expanding 5th wave, right? That you always want to be a little bit cautious about. And then obviously last place is the expanding 1 wave, right? Wave 1 being expanding, which is very, very rare in an impulse. So, okay, that's one scenario, right? We need to go with what is more common. What is more common is just a regular impulse with your 3rd wave being, the longest wave. We're hitting massive support, which is the value area low of this entire trading zone. It's, it is common sense to believe that we could be forming a range here, a corrective zone throughout the next, give or take 3, 4, maybe 5 days. Pumping to 91K, even pumping to 93, 94K. I think that it's a very, very realistic scenario that could happen throughout the next coming days. Main reason why we have the potential of having a completed 5-wave move down. After a completed 5-wave move to the downside, it is common to get that, longer correction, regardless if it's a simple zigzag or it's a WXY or double zigzag, right? It doesn't really matter, but you are looking for a range formation that has the highest probability based on the local move that we've had in the last week. So, that's what we do. We fit things together and say, right, what not, then we go through the levels eventually, right? Then we'll go through the levels, but what's more likely to happen here in the next, week, few days? It's more likely to range, okay, and less likely to move down and break down from this point. Reason why: you have a potential completed 5-wave. After a 5-wave move, you need some time, you need a little bit of symmetry, you need a little bit of a bounce. And what is interesting as well about this is the only downside eventually is that expanding 5th wave. That's the only thing that you're like, okay, it can happen, right? Where you have an expanding 5th wave. This is just your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's like, well, okay, it can happen, right? It can definitely happen. We've got levels of support to take decisions on a trade. But this is, this is not that common, okay? It's not that common to form an expanding 5th wave. So what is interesting, if this wave were to be finished, as there is a way, I mean, yeah, this could get a little bit complex, of course. You could have a wave 1, wave 2. wave 3, 4, and 5. Hang on a minute, just need to double check something here. Yeah, this is the problem right now, where unless your 5-wave move down is done here, which doesn't look great because you have a little bit of a 3rd wave in the middle here, which is the smallest. It doesn't look extremely great. It does count better as a 3-wave structure, okay, where you have a zigzag down correction and another zigzag down. It's very hard to find a solid 5-wave move to the downside here, unless your 5th wave is not in already, where you have your wave 1, your wave 2, your wave 3. All of this is your wave 3. That's your wave 4, which is coming to the 50% Fibonacci, which is where it's struggling at the moment. And the golden pocket is your invalidation for your wave 4. So we're very, very close. And in invalidating here, the impulse move down here, if it's not finished, one more low and then get the bounce. So yeah, there is a little bit of a problem with this local move to the downside. Okay, it's not looking clean, not looking too clean. This is still favoring the possibility that if we do test the lows and we roll over from here, I would be looking for that double bottom, right? Wick to the lows and then the recovery. So that is very much another scenario that could happen. Just counting the waves internally from the Friday highs, you could say that this is a wave 4 right there. It's extremely small. Eventually you can't do this, and this. I mean, you can, but it's not looking too clean. So there is an issue to find a 5-wave move down from here to here. There is a very, very strong issue, which gives it the possibility naturally to, what if this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4 and 5. I have to say it's a scenario that could happen, right? It's a scenario that could happen. Of course, I would be interested in checking the reaction at the lows and, possibly look for the bounce later on. This is, if you are attempting a rollover from here, right? If you are attempting a short, what is interesting is that we are at the previous day value area high. And, when we consider, right, previous day value area high is struggling right there as resistance from yesterday's drop. That's literally previous day value area high, which is getting the fake out. If you are considering a short here and a rollover, just for educational purposes here, if you are considering that this is an impulse down that is not finished, then you need to consider the golden pocket being your invalidation, because there is a bullish scenario that's taking it from this lower high. So I mean, yeah, well, it is I don't like very much speculating on the 4th wave. I mean, it is a valid attempt. It is a kind of a valid attempt at the 50%, but I know that the bounce and the range could form here much longer for the next coming days. Okay, I'm not interested in doing anything here. But yeah, previous day value area high acting as resistance. If you're considering that the impulse is not finished, that's your invalidation, 88.4k. And you are targeting the lows here eventually if you're looking for that 5th wave to finish. I mean, that would be the only kind of speculative trade that I would see here at the moment, but I'm personally not interested in that. So scenarios that could happen, yes, I have to accept that potentially your wave 5 is not in here and it has one more low to go as the invalidation for the 4th wave has not been hit. Then maybe get the larger bounce in the next coming days. So a little bit aware of that. However, it's all about having the entry point, right? Because yesterday, we do not, I do not know how this is going to develop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? We have an idea that we're looking for the rollover to get to the low 86k level, right? and the value area low, and that's where we're looking for that fake out, right? We're looking to test these lows and then get back above to then get the bounce, and I would be targeting 91k, which is the common area to get in a correction, get to the fourth wave. It does happen very, very often. So you might think, is the fifth wave in or not, right? Well, yeah, maybe it is in, maybe it's not, maybe it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still be ready for a double bottom if you did not catch that long entry from the low 86k level, right, which was mentioned also on yesterday's video update. And there was a confirmation inside of the trading community as well. I left a message saying, guys, I'm happy to take this long as we were coming down to that level of interest, right, at 86.3k. Happy to execute the trade. Very good entry, very good support, liquidity grab, right, all planned for that execution. So if we test the lows, I'll be happy to look for a double bottom. That's it. This is the same scenario. We come and test the lows, stopped out from the other position. It makes sense to put it close to break even, which I will forward to the community if we do get an aggressive move to the downside, just to get out of that trade and then consider the double bottom. Okay, that's if it does happen, right? Just considering that this is an acceptable long trade entry here. Other scenarios that we do have here, which would bring a much better short, and I want to get into a new short position and add to the existing short position if it does come to fruition, which I think it has a chance. It has a chance, and I like it. One thing is that if this movement is finished, and this is an impulse, we did not hit the 382 Fibonacci retracement. That is taking it from the high to even the recent lows of last Wednesday. If you get Fibonacci from this high to the lows, okay, this one right over here, down to this low of Wednesday, the 382 was not hit. And this is, over 75% of the times, okay, that's going with probabilities, of course, after an impulse, over 75% of the times you hit at least the 382 Fibonacci. At least, right? Then you can go to 50% or golden pocket, right? Which is obviously also a common area. But percentage-wise, on probabilities, after a solid move to the downside, regardless if this is the low, or we're taking the low right over here, right? Well, then you would be looking at 90.5k to be hit. But either from this low or from this low eventually, the newest low, 382 was not hit. And over 75% of the times after a significant move in an impulse in this case, you hit 382 Fibonacci. And it's all about probabilities, right? It's all about, if over 75% of the time, well, shouldn't we be, very likely hitting it? Absolutely. Right? So it's all about saying, well, if it usually happens, well, shouldn't it happen? Well, yeah, I'm looking for maybe that to happen in the next coming days. So it's all statistics, right, at the end of the day. So, I'm very much interested in this bouncy, rangy structure and a little bit of more upside potential for the price of Bitcoin after this movement to the downside. Just makes sense. So one other interesting scenario is, what if the movement down finished as an impulse? Because we were already speculating on the end of an impulse, okay, regardless if this is your wave 2 or this one, doesn't really matter. This would be a sideways correction. This would just be a zigzag, and then you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expanding fifth wave to finish your third wave. There's a few ways I'm counting this, but there is that possibility. That was the main reason of the long on Wednesday here as well, to sweep up the highs, which we finally did, right? That was the main first target, sweeping up the local highs of that long position, because that's the common target, right? Remember, the long position when we were speculating on Wednesday, if this is the fifth wave, it's common to get to the top of the fourth wave. There you have it. That's the wick on Friday above the fourth wave. It's a common move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's common to get that bounce to the fourth wave if this is the correct count, of course. So I got someone asking me, what if this is the the impulse and this has been your ABC movement to the upside? I got someone asking in the community, Joy that is, if he's around, shout out to you. What if this is the case? You got the impulse down, 3 waves to the upside. That's it. Forget about it. This was the wave. This was the bounce. Now you have a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5. Right? Absolute collapse and roll over. And I have to say yes. It is without a doubt possible. However, what is a little bit disturbing, and I have seen many moves, not one of the reasons is we did not hit the 382 Fibonacci. So if we were to collapse down from here, this is one of the 25% of the times that it does not hit the 382 Fibonacci, and it rolls over. So it's 3 out of 4 times, right? 3 out of 4 times you hit the 382 Fibonacci after an impulse. So yeah, this would be the scenario that it didn't. What can we say? And I kind of do get it that we are at such a bearish point with Bitcoin that we are looking for a collapse down. We haven't had any big major volatility for like many months. And when I talk about big volatility, I'm talking about a movement of $15,000, $20,000, right? It's been 10,000 up, 8,000 down, 10,000 up, 8,000 down, right? We haven't had a massive move of $15,000 to $20,000, and we are at one of those points that it's gonna happen soon. We're going to have bad news coming in or something or whatever, right? And it's just going to end up breaking down. And that's what we are looking at this point where, regardless about the bounce, will we get a bigger bounce or not? Will we range? The overall idea is that, we're looking for the price to roll over, right? We're looking for the price to very, very likely break down. In the next 1 to 2 weeks, regardless of the bouncy range. I do think that I do favor a bounce range here in this territory, but I need to accept that we are at one of those moments which the sentiment is very bearish, the news is bearish, everything just looks like it wants to end up breaking down. And regarding Elliott wave theory on the higher time frame, we do have a completed, very, very likely symmetrical completed move here in a double zigzag WXY, right? Which is this scenario right over here. Very nice, very completed. Okay, very, very complex as well. And it just looks ready. It looks ready. We got a confirmed impulse down. Which is the bounce? Is it this one? I am favoring that we do get a bit of a larger bounce and a bit of a larger range, but I would accept that this scenario could be the one, right? Where it's a finished ABC. We didn't hit the 382 Fibonacci. Well, okay, it is rare. It is rare. It's 1 out of 4, but they do happen. And another thing that is interesting here, if this were to be the completed impulsive move down, is Fibonacci time. When we get the timing from $98,000 all the way down to the speculative fifth wave finish here, we also finished this 3-wave move to the upside in an ABC, if you wish, before the 382 Fibonacci time. And this is also quite rare. You know, it is rare to not at least end up after the 38% of the movement. Okay, that's 38% of the timing. So it would be very, very quick in time, and very, very shallow in pullback as well, to get that big, massive rollover, right? It is quite rare for this to happen when you combine 382 Fibonacci time and the 382 Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low. So then we come with the other scenario, where getting this out of the way, and don't worry guys, we'll come to the levels and the setups later on. I mean, the one of the setups is a double bottom. I mean, for me, it's crystal clear that if the price does manage to move down to the lows, there is that potential of the double bottom. Okay, in here, not interested in longs, not interested in shorts. I know a lot of people would be interested in shorts, but just because it looks like it's rolling over. But based on what I explained, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, we're probably going to have a bigger bounce and a bigger range happening in the coming days. So it's not a zone that I would be interested myself in shorting. We've got New York Open at the moment. Sorry about that, guys. You know, we're talking a little bit too much, right? Just tell me the setups. I mean, the setups were given on Friday for the short, and also yesterday, Sunday, right? I'm happy to, you know, this was the trade. Happy to remain in long position. I actually closed my long position on the other exchange just because I added too much to the position. I accidentally added a few million in the position, and it just went straight to the entry, and I had to you know, take the profits and close the position because yeah, little mistakes that happen when you're trading. But anyway, I got this one right over here, which is from the original plan that we had, right, from yesterday, right? And also, you know, confirming in the trading community. So if you're asking for a new trade, I mean, this is the trade, right? The long at 86.4, 86.3. That was the trade. At the moment, purely based on the possibility of having a completed 5-wave move to the downside, and understanding that we haven't hit at least the 382 Fibonacci, I think we're going to range, and we're going to, you know, there's no instant short positions to be taken in this zone, you know, till we actually form a little bit of range, a bit of more information, and a bit of more symmetry to then say, right, guys, now is the moment, you know, to add to the shorts, get into new short positions. So yeah, this is basically why. Going back to, what if we roll from here? What if this is a finished 5-wave move, and that's your 3-wave structure, and that's your wave 1, and that's your wave 2? It's very shallow in time. It hasn't hit the 382 Fibonacci, so the probabilities are not in your favor if you are looking for shorts, right, on these bounces. It's not the time, because there is the danger of having a completed 5-wave move down, which could bring a larger bounce and a larger range in the next coming days, right? So there's no shorts to be taken down here for me, right? The only one was on Friday. We were still very much in favor of the possibility of this being a complex WXY, and that's your wave 4 on Friday, to sweep up the local highs and hit that order block. I mean, this was a, you know, this was absolutely awesome. There was nothing bullish about this move, and if we were to get that pump above 90,500, look no further, guys. You know, this is an epic short position based on the information that's developing. This is why getting information is important, because then we can restructure the things and say, right, we got something here, right? We got something, and that's what we do. The bounce is too fresh, the movement is too fresh. If you're looking for shorts down here on this bounce, it's not high probability. It's not high probability. based off what I explained. So anyway, so the short here, long here, right? What else do you want? It's I think we're going to form a bigger range in the next coming days with the potential of getting above 91k. If this count is correct, if this is the correct count, then yeah, I would be looking for at least, you know, 91k. At least 91k. Then we'll see what happens and how we develop eventually in the next coming days, right? This bounce is extremely fresh. It's just, we just created one bounce from the lows of yesterday. Very, very fresh. We have nothing here to build up. Nothing to build here. I think we could go to the 5-minute time frame, but I got a few. I need to zoom out still. Onto this overlap here. I mean, even this could be multiple 1-2s because there's been overlap here. 2, 3. Even this could be multiple 1-2s. Anyway, going back to the 30-minute time frame. Another scenario, and that is if we were to pump very aggressively between today and tomorrow. This is like the sweet short position. If you took that short on Friday, as explained, it was to claim the lows. This is to take profit at the lows. This is not the swing trade, even though you can hold some of that position, but you know, the take profit down at the lows and literally 86.3k it means that you need to get out from that trade. So because a bigger bounce could happen after the wave 5, which is, you know, something that I'm covering at the moment. So one interesting thing here. Hang on a minute. I think I've got this in folders anyway, but I like to freestyle. I really do like to freestyle here. The potential of a 5-wave move happening here. Okay. Which I have to say it is acceptable. It is very much acceptable for this to be the 5-waver instead of the other one that we mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, with this movement to the upside from the 5th, you know, this one, and this one. You know, it's very corrective, it's very 3-wavy, regardless if we get it from this low or from this low. It doesn't matter. You know, for me, all of this was corrective, you know, high probability that we're going to roll over, mentioned on yesterday's video update. It doesn't really matter because from this low or this low, the movement is corrective. 3-waver. This, or this. It doesn't matter. It's a 3-wave move up. Now, with that said, if we do hit the golden pocket, which we are just about to scratch, I have to say, we are just about to scratch, not too confident here, and you know, you're literally shorting down after a $10,000 move to the downside here. I would not want to short here if I'm you know, yes, you need to have an invalidation at the golden pocket, that's it. But if we do hit, golden pocket has been hit from the last lower high, so yeah, I mean, there is a good chance that this is corrective. It's a 3-wave structure. There is a very, very good chance that this is a 3-wave. It doesn't really matter if it is a zigzag correction zigzag, or if it's a wave correction, 1, 2, 3. Well, you can't do that. It would have to be a double zigzag. The problem is here that you can't fit in a solid 5 wave move, right? There's not a wave 1, wave 2, not wave 3 here, impossible. This wave 3, okay. This wave 4, okay. This wave 5. But if you count it like this, your wave in the middle is the smallest wave. You cannot have that. You cannot have the third wave being the smallest wave. Okay, it's a rule. So if you pump up, right, if this doesn't fit, then what, as mentioned before, maybe it's a wave 1, wave 2, and all of this is your wave 3, that's your wave 4 and wave 5. Well, then you need to take the, the speculative wave 2 right over here, and then say, okay, well, the wave 4 needs to reject at the 382 Fibonacci or the golden pocket, or the 50%, sorry, and the golden pocket 618 is your invalidation for the wave 4. No wave 4s hitting golden pocket. So we've hit the golden pocket. There's not a solid 5 wave move down from this point. The probabilities, are quite high that this is, potentially a corrective 3 wave move. It would have to be a zigzag here and a wave W, little correction here in wave X, and another zigzag in wave Y, double zigzag. Now, with that said, you are looking for potentially a bigger bounce in this zone. Probabilities are higher that a bigger bounce could be on the formation here. With this movement to the downside, understanding that the movement up is corrective to claim the low, and the movement down also has a very, very good chance. I don't want to fit a wave 4 here and this a wave 5. It's too fast. There's no symmetry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't fit in a 5 wave move like this. So I'm going to favor that this is possibly a 3 wave move to the downside. If you have a 3 wave move up and a 3 wave down, with a possibility of having a 5 wave impulse finished, what you could be looking at is for an ABC flat, right? Running flat would be the most bearish scenario, and running flats, I have to say, they are uncommon, but they're very, very common if the market's very strong in an uptrend, or if it's very, very bearish. And that's where running flats are common, when you have a very, very strong bearish trend in this case, with the potential of having a completed correction, right? A running flat here could happen, because the market just looks ready to roll over, right? It looks ready for the next move to the downside. So obviously, running flat target would be hitting at least at a bare minimum the 0.618 Fibonacci, which we are just about to scratch at the moment, and that's taking the low of your A wave, your potential zigzag A wave, the possibility of the B wave being a 3 wave structure, and this would be a very, very shallow running flat. I have to say, they do happen, I have to say. And we didn't quite touch it. We almost just scratched it. 0.618 is kind of the minimum target zone for the running flat in an ABC. Almost just barely scratched the 0.618 for that running flat potential. It's not an easy short position, I have to say. For me, it's not. There's nothing easy here when we are considering a correction flat. Not easy, because a flat could really rally all the way up to the A wave, right? What is disturbing for me is that we do have significant liquidity built up. People are interested in shorting, right? People are in short positions. I'm in a short, you're in a short. People are interested in shorting, and we've built up, you know, big stacks of liquidity, you know, at 91, 92, 93k, which is a little bit disturbing. Which I would assume that, you know, the price does have a very good chance after forming a possible finished impulsive move down, regardless of this one or regardless of this one, right? You're just either looking for the 3-wave range corrective structure or the ABC flat to maybe take out the highs, then roll down. Then it's fine. Then we look for 80k if you want. But regarding this movement, you know, everything fits nicely. That we bounce, we range. This is extremely fresh. I tell you what would be easy to detect for the rollover. You know, if we roll over from here, I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do, me personally, regarding high probability setup. I'll tell you what would be a high probability setup. If this pump continues a little bit of this range, or ends up breaking out later on with a bigger correction or not, doesn't matter, and we form this kind of price action, regardless of which one it is, with a bigger pullback here for your wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5, to get all the way up to the highs, that is the moment that I'm looking for short positions. Coming all the way up to, you know, 50% Fibonacci, 382 at least. Sweep up the highs again. This is where I would be, you know, seriously looking for short positions. That is if you didn't short already from last week at 96, 97k, or you didn't short here on Friday and you are positioned already. If I wanted to short here, damn, this is difficult. It's difficult because, you know, we have so many scenarios that is screaming that a 5-wave move could be finished. Either this one right over here, or either this one right over here, right? So many scenarios screaming that you could be at an end stage of an impulse here. And after an end stage of an impulse, you're looking for a larger, rangy, bouncy structure to develop. So it's hard work here to get into a short position for me anyway. You know, when you consider the levels of resistance, yeah, that's all good. We are hit, you know, trying to attempt to break out previous day value area high. Local double tops as the price is very choppy. Yeah, you know, there is an execution, no doubt. There is an execution here trying to break above previous day value area high, but I just don't, you know, I don't have any good solid trading setup here. Me personally, you know, could you consider that local double top? I mean, it does give you an entry. You have moved today here, and you're really rolling here a little bit, ever so slightly. So it is getting a bit exhausted in this zone. So you would assume that getting into a double top just to be defensive and have a position if you did not position already from the Friday top here. I guess a local double top here for a position. But yeah, me personally, I'm not interested. Based on the higher time frame, I'm looking for the bigger moves on the 30-minute, 1-hour time frame, not the 5-minute. Right, I'm looking for this move. I'm looking for this move, as explained throughout. You know, we mainly look for day trades that could be swing trades, right? That, you know, this movement here, we're looking for these bigger movements, right? Of, you know, $3,000-$4,000. That's what we do. We don't look for little tiny little movements here and little scalps usually. So just very much aware of a bigger bounce and a bigger range that could happen. And for me, it's very, very difficult to get into a swing short, you know, at this moment, understanding this movement to the downside. I'll tell you what would be an awesome short position if we were to rally here out of nowhere, right, and form a bit of a 5-waver between today and tomorrow. Holy smokes, you know, we really need to detect that 5th wave. If we do claim the highs of Friday, then that is an epic swing failure pattern. I'm not sure if we will get that, but I know if the price moves like this is an awesome short. If you can detect that 5th wave, 382, you don't know how punchy it's going to be. It's all about detecting the exhaustion of the last 4 and 5 wave. That's the sweet spot. The sweet spot is get the big move with increasing volume. You're not interested in doing anything then. You need the stop at some stage. And the stop is likely going to claim the highs once or twice, then roll over. That's literally the sweet spot there for the short. So too soon. It's too soon. You know, I cannot say that this is an epic short to take out the lows. Okay, I can't say that at this moment. Throughout the next 1 to 2 days, there will be more information given. You had time last week to position in swing shorts here. You had time on Friday to get into that short here at 90k zone. Yeah, and here where we are at the moment, I am not interested in any short positions as of yet. I'm interested in shorting naturally and adding to the short because of the high probability that this is likely a wave 1 or a wave A. It doesn't really matter. All this movement to the downside for me is very, very likely either a wave 1 or a wave A. The bounce and then, you know, break down. So I'm looking for a wave 2 to develop in the coming days. We are, right? And I think we could get the chance. There's someone in the community saying I feel that we've missed the chance to add to the short positions or get to new existing shorts, right? And for me, that's one of those good signs that a local bounce could happen, right, eventually, and then we'll get the opportunity to get that movement. Because throughout last week, when we rejected from 97, 98k, right, it's like, guys, well, you know, I'm in a small short, 0.5%, right? Let's see if we double top. If we double top locally, then I'll, you know, get in heavy on this one because we're getting exhausted. We ended up rolling over. So the idea here is, well, let's wait for the impulse to finish, and then, you know, let's analyze the bounce that could take a few days. And, you know, we possibly just finished the impulse, right? We possibly just finished the first leg down. So, of course, it was aggressive. It's a movement of $10,000, right, plus. But now is where we need to remain a little bit patient and, you know, understand that the price could very, very, very likely get a bit of a range and even claim 91k. Okay, it's very, very common to get to the 4th wave after an impulse, and we're either looking for an SFP. If we break that level, you know, for me, it's either going to be a rejection from this lower high, and if not, I think we could stretch our legs to 93k and, you know, maybe even hit the value area high of this trading zone. This will be the area, in my opinion, to take the decision for the shorts. Add to existing shorts and look for new swing short positions. But we need to get up there. We need a bit of a of information here. When you have the possibility of a 5-wave move completed, and you take a look at Fibonacci time, you know, we have time here. Not a huge amount of time, I have to say, but we do have some time. I mean, if this were to be the 5th, yeah, we're either looking for an ABC flat, or if this is a 5-wave move down, we have till Friday at least for the bounce. We have till Friday at least for the bounce, or this is the low of the impulse in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we form a flat here. You know, possibly taking out this high. It's super important to understand the rally, the impulse that could develop in the next 1 to 2 days. We need to see some steam coming up here, some aggressive moves to the upside. I know it sucks, guys, but when we talk, I'm not sure how many people did take that short that was explained on Friday, right? Not many people like to short on a pump, right? But you know, that's what I would be looking for, a 5-wave move in an impulse in between today and tomorrow, with the possibility of hitting 91k. I mean, I want to remain patient for that, because I know it can happen. I know it can happen. I don't know if it will, but I know it can happen. That this is a 3-waver, this is a 3-waver, and then suddenly here you get boom, boom, bang, right? And you get a massive rally out of nowhere where you're like, holy smokes, where did that come from? Well, it's just part of the correction from the impulse down, nothing else, right? So naturally looking for those shorts is going to be the game here for me. 93 to 91k is the zone. This is the area that makes sense to look for shorts. You know, if you roll over from here, then, you know, I have to say, well, you should be in a short from still partially from a short from last Friday, right? Which was very, very easy. When you got a range and a bounce, it's easy to detect 2 or 3 scenarios that you have. When you have such a fresh bounce like this, you know, I ain't going to bet that this is going to roll over. There's no way. It's not happening. This is like a fresh little bounce. This could move like this. Boom, boom, boom. It's still, you know, very, very shallow. Once we get a bit of a range, then we can either discuss, you know, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. We can either discuss, you know, we've got a zigzag move down. Okay, that's corrective. This is corrective. We claim this is corrective as well. We could be looking for a double zig. You know the deal, right? We need a bit of information, because the only information that we've had is the short based on this WXY and this low being support to finish the 5th wave. Once you finish the 5th wave, man, you need a little bit of info here to understand what is the highest probability movement, right? So I know it sucks for many people. Heat map saying up. Heat map is saying up. Well, yeah, we do have some pretty interesting shorts that have been piling up here in the market, guys. So yeah, there's some interesting short liquidations heading all the way up to 91, even 92k plus. So we're gonna have to see. I am favoring a local bouncy range. I am favoring that for the coming days, but I am higher time frame bearish. So it's just, you know, what we have here locally. Lots of people can't trade on the weekends unless you just trade the straight BTC vehicle. Joe, much love to you. Heat maps are deceiving, guys. Don't get trapped. Don't get trapped. It's a trap. We've seen that on many titles in the crypto space. 89.4k daily and fill the CME gap. Very interesting. Divine Hood, very interesting. We've got a daily level somewhere in that zone as well. 89.4k. and fill the CME gap. Good point right over there. We got the ES getting a little bit of pumpy action. I'm not aware of this gap. We do know that it does provide resistance. Nice one, Divine Hood with the confluence areas. Let's leave Elliott wave theory on the sidelines for the moment. But we got that gap, and that gap is in, you know, in confluence with that daily level. Very well spotted right there, Divine Hood. Yeah, even the gap. Yeah, right. It is roundabout. Yeah, that daily is roundabout, just slightly above the gap. That is resistance. We do have. Let's take a look at the confluence here on the point of control. Point of control of this range is exactly at the daily as well. So golden pocket from the latest move down from Friday to Monday. Interesting golden pocket. Lot going on here. A lot going on at the 89.5k zone. Golden pocket, daily level, point of control of the range since Wednesday. A lot going on here when we consider confluence. So it all depends how we get up there, because if this is multiple 1-2s on the formation and we just cooking the third wave, then I'm gonna say, and volume is increasing as we get up here, I'm not gonna short this if volume increases into the level. I would short, you know, this movement to the upside when it's getting exhausted. That's where I would be shorting, not the first direct pump, because it could be a wave 3, right? Of course you could get that rejection in this zone, but there's a lot of confluence here. At 89.5k, also filling that CME gap, as Divine Hood said in the comment section. Spot on, my man. Interesting confluence zone. Let's take a look at the I tell you what, the anchored VWAP. Where is the anchored VWAP from 98k sitting? Ooh, now that is sexy. That is a sexy anchored VWAP coming down just above the highs of Friday, I have to say. Holy moly, that is a sexy anchored VWAP coming down there for a fake out of this high. If this turns out to be a flat, you know, boom, 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 right? Ooh. Would be very interested in here for this anchored VWAP rejection. I have to say, if it comes up very aggressively between today and tomorrow here, above 91k, guys, I would be I would be tempted in already shorting this this rejection. Get a bit of choppiness above anchored VWAP, get beneath it, or I would already consider this to be a major trade. Not only to come down to the lows here, but you know, even lower, even much lower. We know these major pivot anchored VWAPs. We know what happened with the anchored VWAP from all-time high, guys. It was, you know, we know what happened. Anchored VWAP from all-time high got rejected at 98k. So what about the anchored VWAP from the highs of 98k, right, from last week? That is coming in here just above the highs of Friday. We got Elliott wave scenario here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC flats. You know, strong rally up just to roll over later on. This is a very interesting short that I'm looking for. I would be very, very interested in looking for a short here, guys. And this could go way lower eventually in the coming weeks, but for the moment, just to get the entry and the first target as a swing trade, it's the realistic setup here. We like it. We understand it. We got confluence. We got Elliott wave theory. We've got many things here to back up this scenario. We like it. We'll put it in the trading book, in the trading plan book, right? It's good. All right, let me know, guys. Are you in a short position from last Friday? Are you in a long from the low 86k levels? I was confirming yesterday in the community that it was a valid entry point. We got the entry. Let's see if we can pump, okay, all the way up to 91k. I do see it being a realistic projection. Just noted on the community yesterday, Sunday, giving that Sunday update just to let people aware of the level, the scenario, guys. Remember, I said it at the beginning of the stream, we are going to do a giveaway, guys. We're doing the giveaway of a full trading course and 1 month access to the trading community for free. All right. If you want to join the competition, it's a competition basically. Send me the word win on Telegram, guys. Win on Telegram. The first link down below. We are giving a full course, trading course, and you get 1 month access for free in the trading community. That will be announced on Monday, the 2nd of February. I assume that there's going to be maybe 100 people, maybe 200. But you have a very good chance to win, of course. I'll send you the instructions for you to win that full trading course and 1 month access for free, guys. Absolute legends. And send me that DM, guys, on win. You just need to send win, okay? And we'll send you the instructions. And obviously, let's see if you win that trading course, right? This is how to read the market, Elliott wave theory, confluence. These are the ideas that we bring those trading setups. Last Friday, rejection at 90,500. Yesterday, you know, highly likely dump imminent, we say. Highly likely we get the dump, and we're looking for that bounce at the low 86k level, value area low, SFP. Holy moly, that was a good level. God damn. This was the level, guys. Holy smokes. Sometimes TA and trading is absolutely magical. My short is winning. Good job. Shorting and longing. We schlong. We short the highs and we long the lows. That's how we do it. Much love to everybody. I'm going to go around the table, guys, and give a drink of water here to myself. Long, bro. Absolutely. We talked about the long position yesterday. Here it is. Okay. All right, legends. Time for comment section. A little bit too soon for any shorts, for any longs, for any nothing here. Oh, I tell you what, we reclaimed the point of control of the range. That's what happened. And it was actually acting as support. That's what happened. We got above it today and it was acting as support. Trying to pump. Anyway, let's go through comment section. I can see CBM here somewhere. They are buying your crypto. Altcoin season imminent. Yeah, we've had a bad time in 2025. We got rugged from the crypto industry. This is why we've always been a trading channel, really. You know, I've shared that I've been what cryptos I've been buying. I never incentive people of buying anything. You know, I'm buying this, I like this, you know, you do whatever you want. Obviously, what you do know is that the content is only for educational purposes. It's not financial advice. The information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate or complete, and you always need to conduct your own research before making any financial decision. Long at 86.4, says Rudy. Woo! Rudy is on fire. Rudy is on fire. Rudy does share some winning screenshots in the community there and now. Absolute legend, Rudy. Much love to you, my man. Thanks for joining the stream. They are buying your crypto. Hey, get your cheeks ready because I'm playing tennis with CBM tomorrow. Go and check out his channel. Absolute legend. I'm playing tennis tomorrow morning with him. He's good at tennis. He's good at tennis. He's good at trading. This guy has it all. Want to have a look at ICP? Shall we take a look at ICP? Let me know. Divine Hood, much love. Guys, go and check out Divine Hood. I'm not sure if this is his channel, but he also does technical analysis, trading on his channel. I don't think this is his channel, but it's Divine Hood Trading, I think, or something like that. Shout out to you, my man. I got the long at 86.3k. What a legend. What a legend. Absolutely awesome. We are here to win. We're all winning. We're going to be tired of winning. I'm going to say, President, I'm tired of winning. I can't take it anymore. It's too much. Too much winning. Epic video from Donald Trump. First day of trading ever. We'll watch more often, bro. Nice. Yeah, make sure to educate yourself. Understand the movements. Trading is not easy. I have very bad calls sometimes. Not many. Let's be honest. Not many. But we try and be a little bit patient. We try and understand, you know, let the price action form a little range, right? Wow. Oh. Looking for shorts down here, I mean, is dangerous. I know someone that was long in here and was shorting here. You might know him as well. I'm not going to give any names. I know CBM knows him, but he was saying... Anyway, we'll leave that away. We ain't here to say anything. Pump it, baby. I know you're in the long as well. CBM. Andy is one of the best. He's a real trader and it's good to learn from him. Divine Hood, much love. Much love to you. I've seen your content as well. Your technical analysis. Your info is absolutely spot on as well. Go and check out Divine Hood. Much love to you. I know him, says CBM. You guys must know him. It would be interesting to see some names here. Cup and Handy. Sammy Cup and Handy. I'm not sure if I see a cup and handle here. Anyway, we're getting the pump. It is literally really soon to say. I think there's going to be time, guys. There is going to be a little bit of time here. If we were to continue this pump with increasing volume, which it is, I am really leaning on the possibility that we do form a flat here. I mean, I really struggle to find a 5-wave move here to the downside. Right, well, it's not struggle really, it's just you can't fit in a 5-wave move. If this is the count, your third wave is the smallest, which is not possible eventually. So I don't want to consider this little bounce your wave 4 and this your wave 5. So having a zigzag, correction zigzag makes a lot of sense here. Ultimately looking at this as a 3-wave move down instead of an impulse. So I'm actually really favoring the flat. And we came down, shout out to Devil as well, with the fib extension levels. Guess what? Guess what? we actually hit the 1, 2, 3, 6 extension as well from this corrective bounce that we had from Wednesday to Friday, right? It's a corrective move. 1, 2, 3, 6 extension hitting with the Valley area low since November, right? Nothing special. It's just a technical move. It's just a technical level, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people talking about this level, but it's fascinating how we can see, you know, we've hit the expanding flat target, which is the 1 to 1 to the 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6 to the 1, 3, 8, 2. Actually, my bad. Correct me there. I would just correct myself there. An expanding flat, right? We you know, possible target is the 1.618 extension. Now that would be relatively interesting. That is way far up here at 92.5k. Not sure if we will manage to stretch all the way up there, but I think that, you know, what makes sense is to start considering shorts. A little bit aware of the running flat. I mean, if we do get exhausted here in the next coming hours, then that will be that. But you know, as explained, I think this box in between 91k and 93k is going to be the decision zone, and analyze the impulse. But there's several ways on how this could develop here. You either form a shallow wave 3, and then you have your 4 and 5s, right? You have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 here, and now you got volume kicking in, so you know, a bit of continuation up would be ideal. And if it is going to start struggling here with a double triple top, then that's the moment that I would be you know, really calling for a reversal and an ABC running flat. But as volume is increasing, we're going to let it cook, let it do its thing. Never want to be related here in a short position when volume's coming in. So this is one of the scenarios. Once this high volume move you know, stops, ideally this is what you want to see, right? You want to see that, you know, you got a few 1-2s here, and depending on where it stops, it could be high or not. But when it starts getting exhausted after the high volume move, that's when it looks interesting to look for the short. That could be just coming in at the daily level. Yeah, I mean, this would be a plan. You got the CME gap. You got the CME gap, which is about about $600-700 away. With the daily, with the point of control of this mini range that we had from last week, if the price, you know, continues pumping with this volume and comes to this zone and starts, you know, forming these double triple tops here, this could be it. This could be the high. This could be the last lower high, right before we roll over. But you need some kind of exhaustion here after the high volume spike, because trying to catch a short on the pump with high volume is dangerous, and it's not easy eventually. So let's go through the lower time frames 1 second. Get this out of the way. Yeah, I mean, this would have to be multiple 1-2s. From the lows created here, boom, 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 you got overlap right there. So there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no No expanding move. Hang on a minute. Yeah, this would have to be multiple 1-2s. 1 2 1 2, even though they're slightly longer. You know, it is acceptable. It's nothing out of the volume kicking in at the moment. So you at least would want to see, you know, about 3 4 5s coming into a resistance zone. You really want to see a little bit of exhaustion at some stage. Regardless if it's going to be here after filling the gap and hitting the daily and, you know, really struggling at the point of control, that's going to be a decision moment. You know, I cannot anticipate if the price is going to move down from here, right, and nuke. For me, there's no trading setup at the moment. Coming to fill the CME gap and, you know, hitting the daily and hitting the point of control and struggling to get above it is the moment that you would say, okay, this is actually a pretty decent, you know, short execution to get into the trade, right? Get that exhaustion, stop loss, give a bit of room here as you get those double, triple tops and potentially look for the rollover in the next coming days. But shorting right now with a bit of increasing volume is... yeah, it's not happening, at least for me. It's not happening, at least for me. So, yeah, I would favor the possibility, okay, of an impulse being developed here. Just because we have increasing volume at the moment, this does look corrective. Does look very corrective. I think the bulls locally have a chance to squeeze a little bit higher. So preferably coming into big resistance. The first big major resistance is the point of control of the range of last week. The daily filling the gap. Ideally what you want to see is this pump, you know, still continuing throughout the next coming hours, and then, you know, get that grinding structure, that exhaustion here, where you can fit a possible, you know, impulse, but you're struggling very, very much here with double, triple tops, and that could be your running flat. Big resistance at 89.5, as Divine Hood did say as well in the comment section. Shout out to you, my man. He's been a trader and technical analyst for many, many years. He's also got a channel, and just pointing out here the CME gap with the daily, also with point of control. And this is how the price action should develop if you want to be confident that this is a ABC flat. 3-wave up, 3-wave down, and a very, very poor impulse to the upside that could struggle in the next coming hours, forming those double, triple tops here at this 89.5k, where we have all of this confluence, right? To consider the possibility, because the market is looking bearish on the higher time frame. There's no doubt about it. It's all about trying to detect where the price could top out, right? This is our mission as technical analysts and traders, and where we could identify the trading setup. So this would have to be it, the closest one, and getting exhaustion, you know, into this zone with a few double, triple tops after this high volume move would be the way, would be the trade that I would be looking for. Okay. This is really, really fresh. I do not have a short trade personally myself here at the moment. And one other scenario is, you know, when you go to the 5-minute, or, you know, even the 15-minute, this is very, very fresh. You get volume coming in. This could be another few more little 1-2s, and volume kicks in. in, you know, it's super important right now for the bulls to defend this higher low, in my opinion. Because if this is going to be multiple 1-2s and this is your third wave getting developed, you don't want the price to move down beneath this low that was formed a few hours ago at 87.3. I think it's important to defend that level at the moment. You could be forming some little 1-2s here, but you want to see a little bit of more defend this low and a bit of more follow through here, and then get that choppiness. Because then you would say, okay, you got a possible impulse in this zone. It's you know, I have to say it's the best zone to speculate on a short if the price were to move up there and really grind for a few hours, like chop. Because you know, the idea here is looking for that 5-wave move up into the resistance, to speculate on that ABC flat here, running flat, that is. So yeah, the best zone is filling the gap and struggling. You need that struggle to form that 4-5 set, you know, kind of momentum here, and maybe this could be the one that, you know, ends up breaking down in the next few days very aggressively. You need that choppiness, you need that exhaustion, you need the struggle, you need some double, triple top, you know, kind of behavior in this resistance. If not, the other scenario is, you know, we end up breaking up with a pretty explosive move. You got your multiple 1-2s on the formation here, and, you know, maybe it ends up popping out a little bit aggressive. And you know, literally looking for a 5-waver here, regardless if the fifth wave double tops of the third wave or not. You know, it's just we're gonna have to go as it goes with the momentum that we form. But yeah, if this rejects at this point and it rolls over, I have no solid execution here for the shorts. You know, it would just have to be a missed short position. Yeah, you know, if this does, you know, end up rolling over very aggressively in the next coming hours, you know, for me, there's no detection. I can't detect this rollover. You know, it's just I don't have any detection here of this happening. So there's no trade setup. Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit of, this would be the plan for the short. It is important to see that third wave finish, regardless if it's going to be here with those 4 and 5s at resistance, or if it's going to manage to just suddenly pop out here and then it starts, you know, forming the 4-5s here, right, where you have a few 1-2s. You get volume still continuing in the next coming hours, getting to 89.5, 91k, right? And this would be the moment to say, all right, guys, we have something here to look for the short position. That could be early tomorrow morning. But the general idea would be looking for that impulsive move to the downside and an ABC flat. Okay, regardless if that is going to be the flat coming into 92, 93k. I mean, this would be pretty awesome if it were to stretch all the way up there, or coming into the daily, filling the CME gap and literally just getting exhausted there already. We really gonna have to see how this develops. We'll be updating the community tonight if don't fall asleep. And if not tomorrow morning, eventually, as always. Devil was doing the update this morning. I'm doing the updates on see if we do find a possible trade execution. Guys, we are doing a special one. Next Monday, we'll be announcing the winner. You do get a full completed trading course for free and 1 month access in the trading community. There's only going to be a winner, of course, that will be announced on Monday, the 2nd of February. Send me a DM with win, and I'll share the details and information for you to participate. And I'll say that there's maybe going to be 100 people or 200. Well, you have a very, very good chance to get that full trading course for free, okay? And 1 month access in the trading community. Send me the word win, and the announcement will be on Friday, okay? Sorry, on Monday, the 2nd of February. I hear my name, Devils. Yes, sir, that is you. That is you with the updates to, this morning in the community, the trading community. Shout out to you. You will get left behind. CBM legend. You'll get left behind. It's a trap. Smart money is buying, right? Smart money is buying. What a year, 2025. You know, these crypto influencers, I have to say, you know, I'm actually one of them. If you would say, maybe. I don't consider myself one. We basically focus on Bitcoin trading 95% of the times. We talk about altcoins there and what's or not. Elliott Davey, my man. Hi Andy, quality stream. What do you paid service to use for CVD and order flow data for Bybit, Atos, ExoChart? ExoChart is about $30 a month. Okay, I know on Atos it's for free on crypto. So yeah, I mean, you have that option. Atos is absolutely great. Also gives you solid levels of naked pointer controls, daily, weekly pointer controls. You do have order flow there as well. Atos is great. I've just used ExoChart for many years, and I don't mind paying $30 myself. For CVD, you got AGGR.trade, which is for free. For CVD, and it's, you know, you can get some templates on here to decide what exchanges you want to put that are visible. In my case, I have Bybit US dollar, Bybit US dollar Tether, and others, which is a combined of OKX, Binance, and a few other exchanges. Got quite a bit of long positions coming in here, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't have any major bearish CVDs. We're forming higher highs on price action, higher highs on CVD, so there's no major lower highs. Lots of shorts entering here throughout yesterday's dump, I can tell you that. So there's a few shorts getting a little bit trapped here. Yeah, on Bybit on its own yesterday, we had 30 million shorts entering here below 87k. So they got trapped at the moment. So what? But that's good. You want people to short at the lows. So then we can long, right? So it's actually good to see short trades entering at support. It's important, right? The problem would be that if that's something that goes against, you know, getting into the long. If you get on yesterday's move down to 86k region, right, which was the general idea of looking for the long throughout the video update on yesterday. Well, we've been talking about this level for a few days already. If we would have got lots of longs entering here at the low 86k zone, it wouldn't be looking too interesting, right? Lots of bearish CVDs, right? Lower highs on price action and higher highs on CVD locally. It wouldn't be looking too great, but that was not the case. We got some pretty decent shorts entering here on the move down, which is obviously giving a little bit of power on this bounce throughout today. So that's good to see. Anyway, ExoChart is about $30. AGGR.trade is for free, and you can customize your, you know, the templates here. Yeah, let's do a little bit of comment section here. You will get left behind. It's from CBM. We've been having a laugh because He's a great guy. He does great content. Also, Devil. I hear my name. Devil is awesome. He provides insane technical analysis and education. He's well better than me in educating. I can tell you that. I'm a little bit of a freestyle guy, right? We'll go through the scenarios as we go on the stream. But I was having a little bit of a laugh with CBM today with some different crypto influencers that we have on the tube. With these titles, man, that are just yeah, we have a little giggle, we have a laugh. You know, it's a trap. Oil up those cheeks. I'm playing tennis with this dude tomorrow, and he always wins. He always wins, right? Not tomorrow, my man. Tomorrow's the day. I'm bringing you down. Ben Key, 80k this week. Maybe this week. I wouldn't think so. I think we need a little bit of a. I think well, I mean, if we end up forming the flat, eventually it could be, yeah, in a week. If we end up forming this flat here, you know, this could drop fast. This could drop relatively fast. But we know our levels. We know where to execute. I really prefer the 91k plus zone to 93. It would be nice to jump up there between today and tomorrow for this flat. That would be the ideal. An expanding flat even, right? Hitting the 1.618 extension. I mean, this would be the ideal scenario, really. However, we've got lots of resistance at 89.5k, right? We're coming in to fill the CME gap. We've got the point of control. We've got a daily. We got, you know, there's lots going on here. And if price does continue here a little bit and then starts chopping here, then yeah, I would consider that we've formed an impulse in this zone. Very, very hard for me to say that this is a good short. Value area low of the mini range that we had from last week, if that is a level. But yeah, you got some bounces here, a bit of a support resistance flip going on at the moment. But yeah, getting a little bit of a dumpy action here. Price is dumping. Yeah, trying to figure out here this movement to the upside. Yeah, we've got a bit of a situation here. If you claim this low, this pump ain't going to be looking too great. If you claim that higher low, I don't see a solid impulse from here. So that's not going to be looking too great. You don't have a 5 waver. There's overlap here from this pivot. So that can't be a wave 4. Good. Yeah, there's going to be an issue here if you take out that low, which looks like it's going to take it right now with this dump. So this bounce could be looking corrective. Trying to figure out here. If a flat inside of this zone would be a possibility. Like in a 1 2 1 2, and you formed a flat here. yeah, it wouldn't be looking too great, as your second wave 1 and 2 is a little bit longer than this one. I have my doubts if we do take out this higher low about getting follow through to the upside. For me, is this just for me there wasn't a good execution short here, unless you consider, you know, you're getting very close to fill that CME gap, right? I think there's lots of eyes as well. We got some pretty decent longs entering here on Bybit. That's the problem, right? We got, you know, 15-16 million long positions entering here at 88k zone, and too many longs entering at the highs here, which are getting a little bit flushed out at the moment. And I think, you know, the thing is about these long positions is the idea is to fill the gap, right? Let's long before we fill the gap. We'll take all the profits at the gap fill, and let's long, right? And there's a lot of people that do trade kind of like that. And eventually that's not turning out very well for all of those that jumped into longs here. It's just not a way that I would trade. But yeah, I do get it, right? You got the gap. We're gonna fill the gap. We're gonna fill the gap on Monday, and you got people rushing into longs to fill the gap, and that's not turning out very well at the moment for all of those longs that have entered on Bybit in the last hour. Anyway, yeah, for me there was just no short, there was no long, there's nothing to do here, for me anyway. There's no execution for me for any trade. We would either have to fill the gap, get to the daily, get to the point of control. If we end up forming a higher low here from the lows that we formed on yesterday, yeah, I would have to fit a multiple 1-2 here. It would have to be a 1-2 and a 1-2 flat if we find support. Yeah, bear with me here, guys. I'm just figuring out this movement to the upside to see if there's any chance for the bulls. That's not looking good. So the only thing would be 1-2, 1 and 2 here. You need to maintain above this higher low for a possible multiple 1-2. Not looking great, I have to say. Just by claiming this low of today, not looking great. But man, I just have no solid short or long here. Solid short was Friday on the rejection. Solid long was this one here. You want to consider, you know, scratching some profits potentially. But in this zone, yeah, it's just not a solid trade for me. Anyway, let's go through the comment section and see what the people are saying. I mean, yeah. For me, for a new short position or add to the existing shorts, we would literally have to form a higher low here and just get kind of a little bit of a squeeze. We need some kind of a 5-wave move up here. I would favor the flat scenario. It does look pretty good, but price needs to form a higher low in this territory. And this eventually would be looking for the bigger trade, regardless if we get it or not, guys. You know, it's just a projection. It's a possible projection. We talk about projections. We talk about possible scenarios that could develop and where the best trades lie. At least for me, I had no clue that this was going to happen. but it did, right? You know, if we get up to the highs and sweep it above 90.5k, we could develop that WXY, and we could on Friday reject from 91k, right, and form this kind of SFP, and the lows would be the target. I don't know if this is going to happen. You know, I know it could happen. So that's what we do when we trade, right? I don't know if it's going to happen, but I know that there is a chance still for a higher low, and I know there's a chance for a 5-wave move, and we need to detect that 5-waver. We need to detect it. So, and that would eventually bring us the great short. You know what is very, very interesting about this? That I am bearish on the higher time frame. I do favor that we roll over at some point in the next couple of weeks to claim 80k. You know, I am feeling more bearish than actually pumping all the way up to 98k in the next 1 to 2 weeks. I'm not favoring that. You know, I'm favoring more that 80k than 98k based on this structure and based on this move down being an impulse. And I can't, you know, we were speculating on a flat here, but we can't combine anything at the moment by taking these lows. So yeah, it's just you know, we are looking to go south in the next coming weeks, very, very likely. Problem is the bounce right now, right? Where is the best short if you didn't join here, or you didn't join on Friday on that wick? You know, we're really trying to detect the next short, right? Do we have the possibility of this being a 5-waver, and we just get a larger zigzag in the next, you know, few days, or do we form the flat and then roll over? You know what is interesting about if we were to form the flat and we just get above 91k, if we just wick above that high, you know, between today and tomorrow, give or take, maybe Wednesday, I would say between today and tomorrow. If we get up there and maybe stretch to the 1.618, if it does go up there relatively fast, right, a little bit of a short squeeze, I you know, it's one of those pumps that you need to decide that, you know, you're getting in. You might have a few hours to decide if you want to get into that swing short, but I really think that based on what we have here on this price action, when we do zoom out to the that price action that we've been talking about throughout last week, that we formed back in, you know, Q1 of 2022, which was, you know, literally the 4-year cycle bear market. Q1 of 2022 is when the bear market begins. It was very much that case. It was very much that case in 2022. It's very much the case in 2026. There's nothing much has changed, and the price action is very, very similar. So when we do connect that price action from 2022, you know, it's not moving too differently. And this is 4 years ago. This is exactly 4 years ago. The price of Bitcoin was forming this. Obviously, we need to squeeze it down a little bit. Let me just squeeze it a little bit, or just open the chart here. But it's, you know, it's pretty interesting to see how hang on a minute. Let's just put this to scale. I mean, that price action from 2022 is pretty damn similar. This was, in the blue, this was 4 years ago. So imagine the people that saying that the 4-year cycle is broken. Holy smokes, we're moving the same as Q1 of 4 years ago. It's not broken at all, if you ask me. We're even almost moving the same. You know, so now that situation here is, do we get that wick, right? Do we get this wick in the blue, right? Do we get that bounce that manages to get to the 382 50% Fibonacci? And, you know, could that be the flat that we are, you know, discussing at the moment? It could very much be so, right? Flat structure, get that one more wick up to 91, 92. Yeah. And then it's game over. I think we are definitely at one of those critical points where, you know, if we don't get into the short in that bounce, we needed the rejection. We don't want to pump. We don't want to short into the first pump that we get, right? I mean, you could. Sometimes it is difficult, and it might just wick. You know, anything. I think a swing failure pattern from those local highs, or getting to the, you know, it's for me the sweet spot. I think it's overall, you know, in between 91 and 93k, right? That box that I drew throughout the stream just looks. It does look like the sweet spot. If the price were to manage to get up there, I don't know if it's going to get up there, guys, right? But if we just sweep up that liquidity that's been building, you know, it would be nice, right, to just get that little squeeze and then roll over, get some liquidity and then roll over fast in the next coming days. Because there's been shorts building up. Yeah, I don't know. It does seem like it would be. And you know, when we connect the price action from 2022, right? Just going to stretch it a little bit just to see if it is. No, it's not the same, but relatively similar. So, you know, after creating that 3-wave move up in 2022, Q1 that is, we got the leg down and the bounce was not that aggressive. We literally just scratched the 50% Fibonacci before rolling over. And that is the problem for me right now at the moment with this move down. That this bounce that we got from Friday, if we are going to consider this a finished 5-wave move down and a zigzag up, the fact that we did not hit the 382 Fibonacci, which is very, very common to hit, we missed it by, you know, $100 or so. It's just disturbing, right? Because it's not common. It is common to get to at least the 382. And, you know, when we zoom out in the price action here from that drop, I mean, you know, this is just, it's just such a, look at this 5-wave move to the downside. So we've got this 3-wave move up in 2022 and you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, look at this. Regardless of a 5-wave or a flat, it doesn't matter, but you got the impulse down. And I mean, yeah, even a flat, you could probably squeeze in 4, 5 here in this consolidation, and a flat right there. We'd have to go to the lower time frame, but we're not going to do that. No need to analyze that. But yeah, we literally got above the 382. So the 382 was hit. 50% was missed. So yeah, we did hit the 382 after forming this very similar 3-wave move up, impulse down, regardless flat or not. 382 was hit, and we did not hit the 382 at the moment. When we do take a look at today's price action, right, when we do get the similarities of that movement, so this could be like the last zone to get into the short, and it's in our best interest to really see if we are going to form some kind of a sharp move up here, because that's the daily time frame, right? This is like this is why I'm saying, you know, this could happen between today and tomorrow. It could be a wick on the daily to get above the 382 Fibonacci, maybe get above 91, 92k. So let's see. Anyway, we are looking for the price to go south. It's just how, you know, where would the opportunities lie? And for me, it's, You know, preferably getting at least above the 382 Fibonacci, getting above the highs of Friday, and then just checking to see where that 5 waver is, right? Where the fourth and fifth wave is. Not sure if we're going to get it, guys, but overall, if it happens, then we got a plan, right? Because the latest short to get in was this one on Friday. You know, we're really trying to pack in more shorts as we go for people that missed the short either from here or from last Friday, which profits should be taken naturally, because that move could happen, and just getting ready for something that could happen here in the next 1 to 2 days, right? You know, this would be the sweet spot for that rejection, 382 to the 50%. And 50% is coming in at the value area high of this zone. I don't think we're going to break this value area high. If it does stretch to try and hit 93k, then yeah, we'll be analyzing very much the bounce, the move up that's happened. But and the move up obviously has the potential of being an impulse, so it will look intimidating. However, it's the flat, right? It's the flat just to then nuke later on. You know, this is an intimidating move up over here, right? To 98k almost. A lot of people screaming for 100k, 102k. You know, I did say it was possible, but we're looking for the end stages here and local double tops at, you know, for then to move lower. This was a couple of weeks ago. So this move would have to be a little bit ferocious, would have to be a little bit aggressive, a little bit of a short squeeze before it goes lower. That would be the ideal scenario, and I think it does make sense. Get a bit of a short squeeze, a bit of an aggressive 5-wave move up here to form that flat, sweep up some liquidity that has been building up eventually, or as we're rolling over, right? We've got all of these bears at the moment. 80k, I told you, 74k coming, right? All of this nonsense that's just gonna create that little sweep up, and then is when we need to get in, right? Before the price leaves without us. So anyway, it's an idea, it's a possibility. We're just looking at the structure as well from 2022, very similar. It did get that wick move to the upside to get above the 382. 382 was not hit of the movement to the downside, so you know, we could say that it could come in the next couple of days, right? And that's where we need to get ready. Anyway, let's go through the comment section and see what the people are saying. I am long from 88k, liquidation at 83k. That's much sure for 100k. 100,000k is 100 million. Shake, my man. 100,000k, holy smokes, that's 100 million BTC. I don't think we're gonna get that high. 7 to 8k, Venki. Yup, let's see what happens with those metals. Gold and silver is ripping. Gold and silver is absolutely ripping. You know, silver's coming up to the 2.618 extension from the overall consolidation, and I think it's probably reacting here at the just going higher. It's just going higher. We've got this box here. I thought that 100k to 110k was going to be there's nothing stopping this train. Holy smokes. Just coming to the 2.618 extension at the moment. I think it could dance around here. If it breaks, then 3.618 extension, that's getting the overall big range from here. Fibonacci from the highs to the lows of silver, from the highs of 2011 to the lows of 2020. 1.618 extension was flipped to support and not finding much resistance at 110k on silver. Holy moly. This is just wants to go higher. It was a trap. It was indeed. We are trying to flip this point of control as support. It is trying, so you know, we kind of trying to get we got above it, and we are bouncing at the point of control of this range today for Bitcoin. We reclaim. You could arguably discuss it's a reclaim of the point of control. When we do zoom in, you know, we are holding this area. We've got a bit of a fake out here, but for the moment, it is managing to stay above that point of control. We did get the bounce here. That was a long from last Wednesday. Monthly naked point of control. We longed this. We talked about it on stream. And we broke it. Seems like it wants to reclaim. It is holding as support at the moment. And we got multiple 1-2 here with the flat. I don't like this structure very much to be bullish, really, if I'm honest. It's not the most beautiful 1-2s. But yeah, we can give it a chance. We can give it a chance. It's just insane how people are so scared and hoarding safe security assets when everyone should be buying risk on assets now for when the calm comes into the markets. Very true. I think so. Bye shorts. Distance Musik. Metals are not going down if they are continue to print money. Well, I mean, look. This is just a very hyped up massive explosion. Okay, this will end up peaking out. Everything peaks out at some point. Nothing goes up forever. And you know, I think the governments do have the power eventually to say, we ain't gonna print, you know, people are gonna starve, but we are gonna protect our currency. I mean, that's not happened to many countries, but US has the potential to say, yeah, we ain't inflating anymore our currency, and you know, they would rather put the economy into a recession. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm not an economist eventually, but this will peak out eventually at some point. It will peak out, and it will get a larger correction. It will peak out. There's an overreaction with metals. They are peaking, had a good run. Yeah, the run has been insane. I think the run has been absolutely insane. I've considered selling some of my gold and silver that I bought in 2019 because it's done a 3x. Silver's done even over a 4x. Getting into 5x already. I bought it at $14 an ounce in 2019 silver. But I didn't buy that much for it to be, you know, worth the sell. It's just as a security basically, right? So I'm long from 86.4k. Absolutely awesome, my man. Was up late last night on the charts. What a legend. Wish I would have set a larger percentage TP1. I'm still in that long. We need to give the bulls locally a chance here. We need to give them a local chance. But yeah, on the higher time frame, it is not looking extremely great. When we do compare also the bars here, right? We are at one of those moments that, you know, I'm not sure how big of a bounce we can get here, right? Preferably it does get to the 382. Preferably it gets above 91k, sweeps a bit of liquidity, and then rolls over. But yeah, everything points out that it's looking bearish on the higher time frame. Everything points out that there's higher probability in claiming 80k than actually 98k with this structure and the impulse down. So high probability to claim 80k with the information that we have than actually 98k at this point. And I'm interested to see the poll. I'm interested to see the poll because I did ask here what comes first for Bitcoin. We got over 800 votes, which is absolutely awesome. And there's 44% that says 98k plus, that 88k is not hit. That's interesting. It's a little bit of almost a 50-50, slightly more favoring 80k. Very mixed sentiment here. I mean, Bitcoin bulls, they remain bullish, especially the ones that don't do technical analysis. They'll be like, buy and hodl, just buy and hodl, right? Diamond hands, they say. They will be always bullish, no matter how bearish the chart looks. But it is what it is, right? What can we do? It's first or wave up. It's first or wave up, and now ABC flat. Yeah, I mean, I can. Yeah, this is something that we're also talking about. Could this be an ABC flat? The problem is this. There's been overlap here. Just trying to really come across for an impulse here. Okay, I do see that. I know this is actually very, very possible. Yeah, it's actually very, very possible. Let's do a little bit of micro counting here. It's actually. Oh wait, hang on a minute. No. Oh yeah, it is. It is. It is actually possible. It is actually possible that there is an impulse here. I mean, this is the magic of going to the lower time frame. You do have, yeah, you do have a very, very possible 5-wave move up here, because from the lows that were created yesterday, you got your first little rally and higher low. And then you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is actually very, very possible still on the lower time frame. That we've bounced at the 50% Fibonacci. So you do have a double 1, 2 here, and then 3. And then this an ABC flat. I have to say it's actually quite possible. There is a impulse potential. The problem is here, unless this is your 3, 4, 5 like this. 1, 2, 3. We got a problem here then. I'm not going to go to the 3-minute time frame. But at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a problem here. Right, let's go to the 3-minute time frame. Why not? Why not? And let's do a little bit of micro counting here. We'll fix this later on. 2, 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so we got one there. This right over here. This right over here. That is possible. It is possible, and we could still have a major correction still. Okay, we got something here from the lows, even though the symmetry is not, I mean, I have to say it's acceptable, it's not bad. You can fit an impulse here. You can fit an impulse. Not the greatest looking one, but you can. Where you have your bounce, higher low, bounce higher low, bounce higher low. So you got 1 2 1 2 1 2. Then you got this being your 3 4 5. Even though it's not that common for your higher time frame wave 4 to get below the lower time frame wave 4, but we would accept it. There's no overlap from this wave 4 with this wave 1. So yeah, I mean, it's technically speaking, we do have a possible 5-wave move up here. When we take a look at the rules and scenarios, no overlap with your wave 1. There's no overlap with this wave 4 with this wave 1. There's no overlap with this wave 4 with this wave 1. So yeah, it's and maybe you form a chilled correction. So an ABC flat here, or more of a 3-wave move here, a higher low, and then we get all the way up here, and then the 4 and 5 in the next coming days. You know, it's possible. I do favor this scenario. I actually I favor a bounce, and I favor a range till we actually go to lower prices. We got awesome support, value area low. We have the potential of a 5-wave move down being completed, and either forming a flat or either forming a zigzag to the upside. You know, I do like the idea that we're going to bounce and range before we break down. I do like that idea very much. So there is a way of counting a 5-wave impulse here. So losing these lows would be kind of okay. There is a way of fitting an impulse here. So moving down at the moment, bit of pump and dump. Let me know your thoughts. But that was, you know, somebody was saying that we formed a flat here. Lol, I know. Not this is not for everybody, right? Seems pretty silly when you go to the 1-minute time frame and do these counts. I get it, man. I used to think the same before, but it's all about realizing the potential, right? This does have the potential of being an impulse, so naturally it has the potential of forming a higher low. And if we form a higher low here, I would not be surprised, because I understood that this has the possibility of being a leading move, a motive wave, right? I'm tired, always stopped out. I need to touch grass. I keep trading very simple, and this is why it works okay for me. It's a simple game. Naturally, I understand the people that have $1,000 or $5,000 to trade with. They're gonna over leverage and overuse their capital. But when you have, you know, more capital, trading becomes easier. It is true. I've been through the bad times with low capital in my trading journey, and I've been in the good moments, which are now in the last few years, with good capital, which you just take the trades that look, you know, good, and you manage risk, you know, and when you don't have anything too clear, you just don't take a trade. Golden pocket could be the bouncing zone from the move up. Yeah, that's interesting. Golden pocket sweeping up the lows. You could get a little reaction bounce here. could get a little reaction bounce. Obviously, we do like these kind of SFPs as well from a higher low. We like the liquidity grabs. That's coming down to the golden pockets. Golden pocket almost tapped. Let's take a look at today's levels as well. Oh, today's levels are way higher. Hang on a minute. Let me move this out of the way. Let's take a look at session volume profile. Yeah, regarding today, we don't have insane confluence. We're back inside of the range. I'm going to keep it chilled. I'm actually going to, I'm favoring that we're not going to break down just as of yet, even though I understand that, you know, we're looking for something very similar of Q1 of 2022, right? Entering into Q2. And the problem is, you know, do we get that bounce? Do we get that move to 91, 92K to form that lower high? And, you know, based off having that liquidity and looking at Elliott wave theory and understanding the possible flat structure as well, it just, you know, it fits in nicely. It does fit nicely that we could create that bounce in this territory in the next couple of days. It just fits nice. Understanding 5 wave down here or a 5 wave down here and the flat. You know, this is not common price action to tank from here. It's not common for that to happen. So with this structure, if that were to be the case, I would have to just understand that, you know, if it were to roll over here and, you know, goes down to 83, 82K, let's say, right? I would have to understand that we formed an expanding 5th wave. So that's your 1, 2, right, 3, 4, and, you know, this is your 5th wave. They're not that common, but I would just have to understand, well, this is your wave 1, that's your wave 2, 3. But the good thing about this is that this movement to the downside does not look impulsive. So not only on its own, a 5th wave has less probability after getting a 5 wave move to the downside. Your wave 3 is usually the longest wave, which is the case here. So that's low probability. And if you are counting this as the 5th wave, it actually looks very 3 wavy. And you know, automatically you come to the conclusion that, okay, well, you know, what looks very interesting here is that you finished your impulse here like this. We're moving back that wave 2 because what you have here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know, if this does look 3 wavy, then you've got 3 wave up, 3 wave down. You know, it could be nice to see that impulsive move up in the next coming days to form that flat. Let's see. I mean, we do have a couple of days here. Shorts should be positioned already. If you're not positioned from here or from last Friday's highs, which was a good entry at 90.5k rejection, take some profits, leave some open. It's a good entry. If we do come up here, there will be time to get into the short. I was in a short, sorry, I was in a long position here, guys, right? From Wednesday, I did take profit because the target was taking out the highs, right? Who remembers from that long position, literally at the point of control, monthly naked point of control. And the plan is take some profits. If we come down, we get into this long again, right? So also favoring that this is maybe, you know, either the wave 5 or, you know, we're literally maybe looking for a wave 4 or an ABC. We need to take some profits if we're longing from here and understand, based on the information that we have, hey, I'm collecting more profits here, but I'm ready for a new long here because we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got the value area low. We got, you know, lots going on here at the low 86k level. So if you are short from last Friday, you know, you need to take significant profits. This was the short position that we mentioned on Friday. Sweep up 90.5, failed breakout from 91k. WXY, possible wave 4, right? It doesn't matter if it's an A wave, B wave, then flat. It doesn't matter, you know, literally forming. Looks very corrective price action. You know, this is the target zone. The lows, take profits, leave a bit open just in case price decides to roll over. 20%, 30%, whatever you want. I usually leave 30% on average. Depends on how aggressive I'm feeling. I might leave 50%. I might just leave 20%. But you need to understand that this is a day trade, little swing trade setup for the next few days. And we might get the bigger short in the next few days if everything, you know, aligns up basically on what we're saying here. If we have a 5-wave move down, ABC flat, if you shorted on Friday and the price action is coming in here, you're going to be, you know, you're going to be pissed off of not taking profits where you should have taken profits. But we'll, you know, if you get stopped out at break even, we're looking for more shorts again, right? So I just wanted to give you that example of, you know, I longed here, but I took most of the profits and I'm long here again. So I'm actually pissed off because I accidentally added to the position this morning. I only wanted to add a small percentage, 0.5% literally, and on bluffing, and I added and ended up adding, you know, 10% by accident, so I had to close that position. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I opened also a long position here on BTCC. Legends, much love to everybody. There's nothing really at the moment locally. Hopefully we can build up that big short, okay? But we need more information. We need some kind of a 5-wave move. We have time. This has been a 5-wave move to the downside. I think if this is going to be an ABC flat, I would not want to believe, well, I mean, you know what? The thing is here, because this has the potential of being a 5-wave impulse, as we did on the lower time frame, I mean, a running flat here would be a little bit of a, running flat, just because the price is very, very bearish. I need to understand that this is very much a possibility as well, but it's a little bit aggressive for me to take a short in a running flat. Running flat are very, very difficult unless you have a massive level of resistance, like a daily and a point of control, right? If we would have, that would be if we would have spiked up here to the daily and that point of control, maybe you can consider that aggressive short. But I mean, for me here, I had no chance for any position to speculate on a running flat here. We have hit the minimum target for the running flat, which is the 0.618 Fibonacci extension. So when, running flats are common when the market is very bearish or very bullish. And I have that sentiment at the moment that the market's very bearish. So we've hit the 0.618. Already. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it is possible. I know this is boring, guys, but these are aggressive trades at this point. You know, any longs in this zone or any shorts, they are aggressive. They are aggressive. You know, they're very, very difficult. This is an easy short. This is an easy long. You know, where we are at the moment. Could it be a running flat? Yes. Not massive resistance. It could be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then I'm interested in the short. That's an easy speculative short, detecting the 5th wave to then roll over, right, in the next coming days once that happens. But in this zone, for me, it's not easy. And ultimately, I like to preserve my capital rather than you know, trying to speculate on something that I don't have high probability on, right? That's what we all should do. Recover just scalping, bro. Sammy, much love. Sammy, come in handy. Much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining the stream. First TP at 91k. I mean, that would be my first TP as well, even though I TP'd from the long on bluffing by accident. But yeah, it's I think 91k would be a level that could be hit based on Elliott wave, based on the ABC flat. But yeah, I think it could be hit for sure if this turns out to be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between today and tomorrow. Vamos a ver. We will see. We will see. All right. I'll be updating the community eventually. Community will be updated with all of the scenarios that I'm looking at, and if there is a good trade position, because that long trade at the 86k zone was just to give a little bit of a heads up. Okay, you know, happy to take the execution here at the valley area low, you know, counting the waves, possible 5th wave, got good confluence. You know, happy to take this long position at the moment to see if we do get that bounce inside of the community. Just giving a little bit of, you know, follow through. If you're interested in joining the community, send me a DM. But also, we are doing a massive giveaway. And if you want to participate in that giveaway, I will share the instructions inside of the Telegram. Okay, send me the word win. Okay, to win the full trading course, a full trading course and 1 month access in the trading community. The announcement will be made on Monday, the 2nd of February. Okay, so anybody that's interested, just send me win on Telegram and I'll share you the details so you can participate. Andy, you are an amazing trader. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, trading is remaining patient. It's understanding the probabilities, right? A lot of the times I have no clue what the price is going to do, guys, right? That is part of trading. You got levels, you got waves, you got, you know, CVD, you got delta, you got money flow. It happens to everybody, no matter how experienced you are. But always, at least once or twice in the week, you're gonna see some things that fit in nicely to look for the execution of a high probability trade. And I know a lot of you know, there's many channels, of course, that are going to go up there, and then, you know, you're going to have a little rally to the upside, and you're going to have a little, you know, I think we're going to probably form a little bull flag here. So we just, you know, jump into the long and get into a little scalp because we're bouncing at some random moving average here in this zone. You know, that's not how you do it. I can tell you that. It's going to play out a lot of the times, but risk to reward most of the times is not going to play out. But I try to look for bigger movements and you know, higher probability trade, at least for me. But there's so many gurus out there at the moment. Gold is finally dumping. Let's take a look at gold. What about silver? Silver had a crucial Fibonacci extension. 2.618 extension from this move. It is above it, but if gold is dumping, well, dumping, it might be just correcting, right? Finally dropping on the 5-minute, right? Yeah, this is still very, very heavily strong. Anyway, much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining today's live stream. Last day of metal rally. Should be good for Bitcoin. Gold consolidating. Stay cool, bros. Where can I find music you're listening to? This is from epidemicsound.com. Free royalty, not loyalty. I'm in the Telegram. The VIP has fusion. We'll see what happens. Okay, with the Telegram. But yeah, we basically put everything together into one trading community. Okay. Le Kid, much love to you. Español, ¿cómo estás? Thanks for always doing these streams. You're very welcome, Uptown Dope. Much love. Crypto Cowboys. Oz, much love to you. Will Bitcoin ever reach 1 million? Just curious question. Have you ever looked into other charts like Renko or Point and Figure? Punto y Figura. I used to before, yeah. Where's that comment? Point and Figure. I used to in 2017. I actually learned about Point and Figure in my first year. It was interesting. Sometimes the price does. It's kind of a point of control. Punto y Figura. I actually learned it in Spanish. Can you see dominance? BTC. Always looking on YouTube to see your takes. Thank you very much, my man. Can you take a look at the Bitcoin dominance? Let's take a look at this. Bitcoin dominance, BTC dominance. Why not? I think the Bitcoin dominance is not going to go anywhere. Moving down today ever so slightly, but I think it's not going to go anywhere for the next coming months. I think this range, I think this range is going to continue. Like a big bear flag, and then throughout the next coming months it will likely end up breaking down eventually, and we will get some kind of altcoin rally, right? Relief rally. But yeah, I think this is just likely going to range as Bitcoin's still quite bearish, and I wouldn't expect the dominance to move down as Bitcoin goes down. I think it will slightly grind to the upside and range. That's what's likely going to happen. WXYZ scenarios, please. XZ, that is. WXYXZ scenarios, please. Yeah, like this one, right? WXY from last Friday. These are the good ones. We don't have anything at the moment. I'm sorry. We remain long from 86k lows, and remain a little bit short if you did jump into the Friday short from that WXY. And yeah, I think I need to. We will have some information in the next 24 hours. I will be updating the community. I will go live tomorrow at New York Open, and we'll figure out to see if we have an epic short to add or to get into, or we break down from here already. It's just there's no new entry points and no trading setup. If you shorted from Friday, make sure to collect some profits. You got a good entry, leave some open. If you're long from the lows, I would say a double bottom you know, stopped out at break even. That's okay. Double bottom is acceptable. I will be updating the community now on this local trade. And we are looking for an impulsive move up here to possibly form an ABC flat. The movement down does look corrective. I have to say I'm favoring this movement down to be corrective. And the movement up is corrective, movement down is corrective. Then, you know, forming an impulse here does look attractive. We need to see that third wave. We need to see some volume. We need to see a big move in the middle, right? Once that big move happens, it's interesting to speculate on the exhaustion, regardless if it's at the daily after filling the CME gap. I don't think so. I think we'll likely pop out from that zone if this is a wave 1, 2, and then, you know, I think we would pop out. But yeah, we're just gonna have to go a little bit level by level. Out of speculation, yeah, we're not going to talk about it. Never mind. I was going to talk about something, but it's a bunch of nonsense at this point. Any scale, brother, in BTC? Any scalp? No scalp for me at the moment. I mean, if you wanted to enter a little scalp long, this SFP here at the golden pocket, from the lows to the highs, you might get a little bounce if it comes down there. This higher low is with the golden pocket from the move up, so a little wick here bounce. There is a little scalp, potentially all the way up to the VWAP. Yeah, we missed it by a few dollars, but we could come down and claim it. That's with the golden pocket from the rally. There's a little long scalp attempt here if you SFP from this higher low with the golden pocket. I would only treat it as a scalp, okay? That would be one that's very close to us at the moment. Would it be possible to get a double zigzag from here to get the bounce to around 93k? Double zigzag from here, as in to the upside. Yeah, I mean, I think that this could be an impulse. We were doing the micro counts before. There is a way of fitting an impulsive move here. We've got 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. There is a way of fitting an impulse. Not the most beautiful, but there is a way. So a higher low could happen here. It could happen. Golden pocket 7-8. We're gonna have to see. If we were to find, if there were to be lots of shorts entering and the higher lows maintaining, which is the case on Bybit US dollar tether, there is lower lows on CVD already, so that's interesting. Also here, about to form. Well, we did form them, that they already played out. So we are maybe going to get some new bullish CVDs on the formation here. Anyway, legends, thank you very much for joining today. I'm just really flip-flopping at the moment, getting a bit boring. But we discussed a bit of the scenarios. I think a larger bounce and a larger range is more likely than actually rolling over tonight. Okay, I think we're gonna bounce, we're gonna range. I think fill the CME gap and have the potential of getting to 91k. I think a higher low here is very, very possible. And a successful breakdown I don't think is going to happen as of yet, based on the completion of a possible 5 waiver here or 5 waiver here, and we form the flat. Even though it is disturbing that a running flat target has been hit here, the most aggressive scenario would be that this is the running flat. You got 1 2 3 4 5 running flat. That's your wave 2, that's your wave 1, and yeah, we're literally breaking in the 3rd wave already in the next few days. I have to say it is possible, so we want to be a little bit cautious. I wouldn't trade a higher low here, as in a massive long with stop losses down here, unless you entered that 86k zone trade. Running flat could happen. I'm not going to favor it because they are rare. So I'm favoring a larger bounce and a possible ABC flat here in this region. Or if not, a larger 3-wave up, 3-wave down, 3-wave up, just a double zigzag, or literally form a bit of a more symmetrical range in the next couple of days. Legends, thank you very much for joining. Remember that we are doing this competition. If you are interested, make sure to send me a DM with the word win, because we are giving away full trading course with 1 month access to the trading community. Of course, you need to follow the instructions to participate, and I will send them to you as soon as you send me the word win. Thank you very much, guys, for joining, smashing up the like button. If I don't see you later, I will see you tomorrow.